Okay, upon reading the minutes, if anyone wants to make a motion to approve the minutes, we can do that. Yeah. C-U, oh, C-U-S-S-E-N. Okay. So there was a correction to the Constitution Commission report uh, to James Cousins' name. It's C-U-S-S-E-N, so we'll reflect that this morning. Is there any other changes or additions or edits that you may see? Okay, so we're really going to get into, the 25th century, I guess, and the minutes wasn't online, so we just made that happen. So we have about 8 people, I think, that's online that could look at those. Oh, yeah, they're reading it online, right? Could you ask everyone online if you got a copy of the minutes? Okay. While we're waiting on them to take care of the minutes, those of you that may know, caddos can tell stories in the fall time and toward the winter. That's our traditional. That's our traditional way. And so I don't know if anybody ever heard of why the hawk doesn't have meat on his legs. And there's a reason for that. It's an old Caddo story. They said, Bana, once upon a time, there was a man here. His name was Jonathan Hoig. He was the last grandson of Chief Enoch Hoig. And he said, Bana, ditti, dawina. He said, sit down, ho, ditti. When I was a little boy, my grandfather told me this story. He was the last chief of our tribe. There was a hawk, and he was a bad hunter, and he couldn't hunt very well. And so he flew around and flew around, and everyone else was good hunters, but this one, he couldn't hunt very well. So he seen a deer, and when he seen this deer, he really wanted to take that deer and he wanted to kill it and take it home and feed his family. His family didn't have a whole lot. And so, but he knew he wasn't strong enough. So he went and seen Iwi, Haime, the big eagle, his brother, and he talked to him and he said, I seen a deer in a valley. You're stronger than me. Can you go down and help me get it, and I'll give you half. And that way I can feed my family. And he said, okay, show me where it's at. And then when they flew off, they were flying, and then they went down into a valley, and they seen this deer. And he went down, and that eagle seen him. He said, Sitha, look, there it is. He took off, and when he took off, that eagle grabbed that deer and killed it. When he killed it, the hawk took his food to the family, and they was really proud of him. His whole family and the band that he comes from, they celebrated because now he's a great hunter. He's such a great hunter now, and they all celebrated, the whole people, the tribe, everyone, his little band was really happy. And they lived on that deer for a long time, and pretty soon, they ran out of food. Now remember, he wasn't a great hunter, so he would go out and get like mice and little rodents that he could find and little rabbits, whatever he could find. But at that time, they ran out of food and he didn't know what to do. They said, well, you're a great hunter. You've always been here, and now we need food, so you're going to have to go out and help our people. Well, he didn't know what to do, so he went out. He looked and looked and looked, and he couldn't find any food, couldn't do what the eagle did. So he came back, and he had food, and he fed them. But when he fed them, they looked at his legs because he didn't have any meat on his legs. If it's in Caddo, it's a better story. In English, it loses something. The whole irony of it is he was lying, so he didn't know what to do. But anyway, it's an old story. So you can tell those in the fall. Okay, are they ready online? Okay. All right. So we have 8 people online, 15 here. If someone wants to make a motion to approve the minutes. Yes, sir. So we have one more correction on the questions and comments from membership. Francis K, the last initial K, we're changing that to coda seat, so that could be recognized in the changes. Can you say your name? So Christy Chandler made a motion to approve the minutes of July 26, 2025. Seconded by Buzz McDonald. All in favor say aye. Those opposed? Anyone abstain? Online? How many do we have online, do you know? 5? We're counting. So we have 5 online, and then do we still have 8, or is that just 5 total? What's that? I know, but how many said yes, no, or 5, and then 3 abstained, or do you know? No one said anything, so we have 5 online, and everybody got the count here. Well, now we have 6. This is like an auction. Okay, we have 6. Going once, going twice. All right. So we have a total. Everybody got the count? Raise your hand. One more time, please. How many? 18, and then we have 6 online. 24. So motion carries, and the minutes are approved, and we appreciate your time looking at that and reading that book. So I'm going to make well, I say brief, and then because we have a lot of guests here, and our members. What I mean by guests, our relatives, all our relatives that are here, and I'm going to pick on Francis, and I'm going to pick on Gail a little bit. These two, you can't separate them. They're like the bad news bears. Sometimes we love them to death, and we're glad that you guys are here, and we love you guys. And with winter coming on and everything, well, I'm hoping that Cletus, and I'll talk to Cletus to get me somewhere. No, but really seriously, we're glad that you guys participate, and make an attempt to come out and help us. And Shirley, good to see you and everybody in here from the doorway in to the doorway out. So I'm just going to make it brief. The Constitution Commission, I believe, is here. And they're going to give us a report. The coordinator's here. I know the coordinator had met with us the other day, and we confirmed that you guys have a great budget, right? It's in the minutes, and there was a resolution. I'll let you guys talk about that here in a little while. And then we have the election board here. Can you raise your hand? Are you the chairman of the election board? Or? Okay, that's fine. So the election board is on the agenda as well. And then we have some great news about the upcoming community event related to our child care. But in the meantime, if you haven't noticed, the United States government is shut down. And I really want to just kind of brief everyone where we're at there. With the impact in Indian country right now with this administration, which I disagree with wholeheartedly, related to Indian country, is we're fixing to see the biggest cut in Indian affairs that we probably will ever see, probably in the last 100 years. Again, the Biden administration, now you have to remember, I work in a bipartisan way, regardless if it's a Republican or a Democrat, my interest is the tribe's interest. So under the Biden administration, there was over $245 billion put into Indian country. More resources and funding through agencies in any other time in the history of Native Americans as being tribes, as far as their constitution, how they work today. 245 billion in Indian country. And now you got to remember, that was under the Biden administration. There's not one Republican that supported the ARPA funds to tribes and a lot of tribal issues, although some Republicans supported the Native American legislation related to Native American Graves Protection Repatriation Act. They helped pass the Civil Rights Act when we didn't have a Civil Rights Act. And then we have some Republicans that are in office from Oklahoma that I met with about the funding in the Senate of Indian Affairs Committee about the impacts in Indian country, which a lot of you know, Congressman Tom Cole and others. And I even had to track our Senator Langford down and remind him that we're not a part of DEI. There's a trust, fiduciary responsibility to tribes. And so this administration has set us back. And there's some things that are going to go away and never come back related to funding. There are programs that will go away that will never come back. There are some programs and funds that will stay. Of course, we do not have a great voice in that other than banding together with other tribes across the United States to make sure our interest is heard, our concerns are heard. And so I know that there was the United Nations Tribal Caucus of Oklahoma had all got together to talk about the impacts in Indian country related to this administration. They're real. And right now the government is shut down. I will give you an example of how real this is. During the last administration, there were tribes looking at solar and wind energy, especially wind energy. There was East Coast, the Narragansett, the Oneida. There was tribes in the East Coast and tribes in the West Coast that were looking at developing wind energy to offset cost and build economics for their tribe. You're talking about multi-billions of dollars. Cut. Those are gone. when this administration took over, every one of our grants, there's 99.9% of what we do is all federal. Unfortunately, we need to get away from depending on the federal government, depending on indirect costs and those federal dollars, because when the government shuts down, it has an impact. I will let everyone know that every federal dollar that we've been able to go after, whether it was transportation funds, higher education money, I put that on here as well, workforce development like job placement and training, education dollars, as well as every other federal dollar we could go after, job placement and training, social services that you would have, higher ed, adult ed, all the programs that we have is all federally funded. And for those of you that may not know how that works, we contract with the United States government and the Interior to provide services to our members. Those are competitive, unfortunately, and some of them you have to, if you don't take care of your audits and take care of your finances, they'll just cut you off. And so for years and years and years, the BIA, because of the dysfunction of this tribe, has not, you haven't had all your programs. So the reason for that is because of the infighting, the bad audits, and not taking care of the tribe. Today, we have contracted all those services out from the U.S. Department of Interior, BIA, here, and provide those services to you. We are moving towards self-governance. What does that mean? That means that our higher education department, our adult education department, our job placement and training, contractual agreements with the federal government, the BIA, our transportation, social service, Indian child welfare. You didn't even have an Indian child welfare when I got here. The Wichita tribe was facilitating that for you because the BIA gave them that program. As a matter of fact, they were taking care of Indian child welfare cases, taking care of, they was getting the dollars. You didn't have transportation. You didn't have job placement and training. You just didn't have a whole lot of anything. And so we were able to recapture those programs, and we were able to make sure that we pulled finances back in-house when they were being outsourced. And you never want to outsource your bank account because someone else is going to control that, and that's not a good thing. Today, we have 3 clean audits. We're moving towards self-governance. We're working on our 2025 audit right now, so we're ahead, so we really feel good about that. One of the things about self-governance is that the United States Department of Interior in Washington, D.C. has stamped our self-governance process. That is saying that you have the ability now to work right with the Interior. You don't have to no longer deal with the BIA. That means that all our contracted money out that we get from the BIA is going to be rolled up into one compact. It's going to be clustered together. And we won't have any more federal forms to fill out every quarter for every program. Our directors will not have to provide a quarterly report to the BIA. That means the BIA is out of your business. That means that the Interior will have an agreement with the tribe. You'll have one annual funding agreement related to all those federal dollars. And you can go after other federal dollars because there's other agencies that recognize self-governance, like the Department of Energy, U.S. Department of Ag. And what does that mean? You always hear the tribe doesn't have a budget. No one tells us anything. We don't have, we don't see anything. All the budgets and numbers are online. If you want a copy, you can come up, visit us anytime. All the directors, 99.9% of what we do is all tied into contractual agreements. So when you see the reports online, everything is there, but except the account numbers. We provide you all the information. With us moving towards self-governance, all that goes away, which means that, you can come up here and get them. So what that means is that you're going to have one agreement, and you're going to have an annual funding agreement. This tribe's never done that before. Never in the life of the history of the tribe have you ever been in this situation. You're going to have one annual funding agreement, rubber stamped by Washington, D.C., related to all your interior dollars. As long as your audits are good, as long as you do what you say, they won't ever redact that, and you will move on as a tribe, which means that we'll take that budget once it's signed off by the tribe and bring it to you. That means you'll have a budget finally. You'll have also a tribal government budget, Office of the President's budget, a membership budget. You'll have a budget that you can actually have in your hand. And our hope is that we put that in the newspaper as well, that we provide that to not just our members online, we can provide it by you, and say that you finally have a budget related to just that one agreement. So that is real important. And the audits, you have to have, I can't say it enough, you have to have clean audits. There's just no way to do it. If you don't balance your checkbook at the end of the day as a tribe and it gets crazy, the United States government will just shut you down. You'll lose your self-governance if you don't take care of it. Those programs will go back to the BIA, then the BIA, if you don't do it right, they'll sanction you and just take all your programs. Then you're back to square one. So I just wanted to let everyone know that with the United States government shut down, if we go past 50 days, you may see more impacts. We may see furloughs. We may see, we're doing everything that we can to make sure that we keep the doors open, provide the services during this government shutdown. This is the United States government shutdown, not the Caddo Nation. However, it has impacts related to us and how we work with you and provide services. Right now, we'll let everyone know that we drew every federal dollar down that we could to provide you service, across the board. Now, there's some of those portals federally we couldn't get in because this administration said draw down the dollars related to your agreements. You can't just go do nilly-willy. According to your federal agreements, you can draw down these dollars. When we went in to draw those dollars down, all those systems were off, right? They were blocked. Well, they opened up the next day. We were able to get that done. Under this administration, make no mistake about it, it is trying, and it's probably trying more now than it was during the pandemic for our nations. And so we're doing everything that we can to make sure that everyone on the Hill in Washington, D.C. knows, the Secretary of Interior, the Assistant Secretary, the Senate Indian Affairs Commission. We have sent resolutions, we have sent letters, we have met with them. I have been to D.C., the council has met with other tribes. We continue to work wholeheartedly together with all 38 tribes in the state of Oklahoma to talk about all the impacts. This is not a little thing, this is a big thing. I know Chuck Hoskins Jr., I'm going to pick on him. Chuck, if you're listening, he did a great job explaining where we are as far as funding and the interior the other day to all the tribes across the state of Oklahoma. Tribes in other states across the nation are banding together and doing what they can to make sure that your sovereignty is protected and the trust responsibility is held up. And with that comes funding, right? And so I just wanted to let everyone know we're doing everything that we can, and we're going to continue to fight. Unfortunately, we're going to fight like hell to make sure that our tribe's protected, and we're going to do what we can. And I'm just really glad to know that you're here. And just kind of wanted to brief everyone related to that. And then I'm going to turn this over because we have some business that we have to take care of. The Caddo Nation Constitution Commission is here. Raise your hand. Okay. And we have the coordinator, Stacy. I'm going to pick on you, and then you can come up and introduce the commissioners. And if they would like to, however you guys would like to, I know you guys commission wanted to be on the agenda. We had a great meeting the other day. We allocated $100,000 for the commission for you to do your work. We also solidified that in our finance department. We put it on our minutes. We made sure the other day it was re-edified that it's done. And also, we're really looking forward to the work that you do. And there was even some comments related to a resolution that you guys drafted. And I'll let Stacy and you guys take care of it from here, and then we'll move on too. Thank you.
I have to raise this microphone a little bit. Just teasing, Bobby. Good morning, everybody. My name is Stacy Halfmoon. I've been serving as the coordinator for the Caddo Constitution Commission even before they were established, since the beginning of this process. And I'll just give a couple of updates. The commission had their first inaugural meeting on July 22nd of this year. They were all appointed by the tribal council in around June. They were all contacted and appointed and had their first meeting. I think they've had approximately 7 meetings, give or take one. The commission, you know, you can imagine this is new. This is a new process. What? Oh, okay. Sorry. Oh, okay. This is a new process. This is a brand new commission. So, you know, that takes a little bit of time to get to know each other, to get to understand what's happened so far, and to really come together and work as a group. And I think this commission is doing that. They all have been very, very thoughtful about how they undertake this process, and everybody's very aware of the meaning of this project in terms of thinking about our Constitution and how that can be changed, should it be changed, making sure it's a clear and transparent process so that everybody has a chance to weigh in. So they've been having those meetings. There will be upcoming citizen outreach meetings. And I don't know if the tribal council approved it or not yet, but there is a proposed resolution on the table that clarifies a little bit of their timeline of activities. And if that resolution goes through, the commission would, by July, they would have conducted all of their citizen outreach meetings. So you should start hearing about those. Darcy's going to talk probably a little bit more about that if you want, or not. And then there will be surveys, which she is going to talk about. So they have a lot on their charge to do up until July of this 2026. And then at that point, they would make some recommendations on the next phase of actually doing drafting of revisions, what all the citizens said should be considered for constitutional change. Yeah.
I'm just going to jump in here for a moment. So the council reviewed the draft resolution that the commission put together, and we're clarifying the language, which is great. And the council's going to pass it. It's already been approved. We're just finishing up and putting it in its box, and then we'll make sure that we get it to Stacy. Almost forgot your name. Sorry, and so that you can get it to the commission. Okay.
Okay, so with that, that's just a quick update. As the coordinator, we have the commission recently selected an executive committee among the commission. This is Darcy Parton-Schoon. She's going to give an update on the survey. She's the chair of the commission. Jim Kesson is the treasurer of the commission. Amy Heath is also on the commission. The secretary is Becky Quinlan. So that was, oh, good, Becky's online. So those are the leadership among the commission that are helping to carry some of the load. With that, unless there's any questions about the commission in general, I'm going to turn it over to Darcy to give some updates. Let me get out of your way.
Good morning. It's nice to be here. I'm happy to speak with you guys. I just want to let you know also, Lauren Hopt is online as well, who's also a part of the commission. I know Shannon Freeman is attempting to get online. She was having some technical difficulties. And so 3 more commissioners are online and present. It was our goal during this process to really create a communication path from the membership to the commission so we could really hear what it was that you wanted to put into or into a new constitution and what changes you would like to see going forward, and even to ask, do you want a constitution change? And so if you've never read the Constitution, it is online, and you can go out there and look at it. And so did anybody not get one of these surveys that I was handing out? Does anybody not have one of these? I gave one to you. That's what I gave you. Those are what I gave her this morning. Okay. So everybody has one. This is the very first survey, and this is just a basic, information back from the community, what you're feeling about the tribe and what, some of the things that you're seeing, what we're doing well, what we need help with. Part of the resolution, the requirements for the commission is that we held 7 what we're calling community outreach meetings. And so those 7 meetings will be us on location, but 2 will be virtual for people that can't come to a location. You'll notice on question number 4, it asks you what locations you could attend to do a community outreach meeting. Those questions were developed because Becky Quinlan and Amy Heath spent time with enrollment and a map, and then targeted the most populated areas with Caddo citizens. So these locations are in the heart of our most populated areas. That could change depending on what we get back from the survey, because we will use the survey to determine final locations. But if you have family members that are out of state or they're not here at the meeting, please have them fill this out, because we want to make locations that are most accessible for all the membership. So these Constitution Commission has 3 forms of outreach. It will be the outreach meetings, it will be the surveys, and then the third thing we're offering is maybe you can't make an outreach meeting, but you want like a smaller 40-minute session with the commission. And so you can get a group of people together and contact us, and we can set up a virtual or in-person session. In person if it's possible. Obviously, I want to go. I've offered multiple times to go to the Hawaii Commission. Nobody is, we don't have that on the docket yet, and nobody's letting me go. But, we'll do whatever we can to meet you at whatever location you're at. So the 3 forms of communicating with us are these surveys. This is the first of 2. We may have a third one, but this is the first of 2. So the surveys, the outreach commission meetings, and then the smaller meetings that you contact us to schedule. We ask that you have at least a group of people that we can do. And then finally, if you have somebody who's just absolutely incapable of making a virtual meeting in person, and they just are at home and incapable, but we'll work something out, just contact us, we'll get to them however we can. And so those are the 3 ways you can contact us. The locations of this survey, so it will come out in our next newspaper in November, so it would be mailed to all the membership that are getting them. It is on the My Caddo Nation /Constitution #commission. You can find that information there. You can also find all the commissioners' information and bios and websites. And our email address is constitution@mycaddonation.com. So when you fill this, if you fill this paper one out, you can email the filled out one to that address. You can mail it to the tribe, attention Constitution Commission. And the third and final way is you can actually just use this QR code that's on there, and I've laid some on the table, and you can scan it and you can do it online, and it will automatically be sent to us. The surveys have, at the top, they have a place for your enrollment number, so you have to put the last 5 of your enrollment number and also your zip code. The zip code so we can help determine if we're getting to the right location to do meetings. So, did I forget anything? Oh, its deadline is December 1st. Yes, I keep forgetting to say that. So the deadline on this first one is December 1st. And the reason we need these back that quickly is because we have to set up, travel and all of those things to wherever we end up having the additional commission meetings, so. Yes, we will be at the festival. Tell me what day that is. November 16th, Sunday at the First American Museum. We're having the Caddo Festival, so we will have a table there and be available for these as well. And, like I said, you can do the survey, but you can come by and talk to us as well. Anything else? Did I miss anything? Yes, if you fill this out now, one of us can take it from you today. Any other thing? Any other questions? Jim wants you to read it and analyze it, and if it's fine if you email it to us later. We're not rush you to get it done today. Yes. Yes, I can read I did read it. Oh, she actually put the link. Okay, so Lauren put the link. If you're online, Lauren put the link to the website directly to the survey in the online chat for the online users. It is on Facebook. All of our formal social media marketing have actually posted a link directly to the website, so, or directly to the survey. Anything else? Oh yeah, I am leaving some at the office, and if you are, if you're in charge of a club or a gathering, I have extras here today you can take with you, so. Yeah, we had planned to put some at the front office. I brought enough for that. I think maybe TAG needs to have some, because I think that's where most people go. We can leave some for TAG, so. All right, any questions? You can put some at your businesses, yes. We talked about it. We just didn't know if we wanted it that public, but then it being online, so. But like I said, that's why we have the enrollment number and you have to put the enrollment number and the zip code, so. Anything else? I'm good? You guys? Yes. We did. Yeah, I know she just jumped on, but we did note, the locations for the cities. Is that what she's talking about, or the location of the? Okay, yes, we did. Does anybody have a question about that? I can go over it again. Maybe they didn't hear it online, but we used the two people on our commission that, as a career, look at maps and make decisions. And so we talked with enrollment, got where we were the most dense in population, so where we have the most number of Caddos, and then they used a map to choose cities in the center of those population densities. Okay, anything else?
I like, so that's really cool. Appreciate everyone being here. Thank you for the work that you do. So I know we have the Caddo Nation Election Board. They'd like to provide an update, and we have an election coming up, so I'm going to turn it over to you.
Good morning. My name is Christy Chandler, and I serve on the election board. I was hoping Beatrice Johnston would be here today. I think she might be on her way, but she is rolling off of the election board after 5 very committed years of serving, and she's done really well for us, and we're sad to see her go, but also excited to welcome on a new election board member, and that's the business that I'd like to speak to you about today. We do need to vote on accepting a new member onto the election board for a 5-year term. This is supposed to happen at every October membership meeting, And I'm proud to say that this is the first cycle that we've had a full election board and an opportunity to follow what's in the election ordinance and the Constitution about bringing on a new person. So we have 3 candidates that expressed interest. Of the 3 candidates, 2 met the minimum qualifications that are outlined in the election ordinance. Those 2 individuals are online with us today. They weren't able to make it in person, but hopefully as I introduce them, read their bio to you, maybe they can turn their camera on so that you can see them online. And then we'll need to take a vote today so that we can roll Beatrice off as of today and swear in the new person today as well. So I'm going to read their bio. The first one we have says, "Hello, my name is Misty Heath. Misty is the daughter of Alvin Tiller and Diane Smith and granddaughter of Luella and Johnny Smith. She is a married mother and she has 6 children. She is a Mimi to 7 grandchildren. Works for the district attorney's office for Pottawatomie and Lincoln counties. She has a bachelor's degree in business administration and a master's in psychology, and says she appreciates the opportunity to serve the Caddo Nation of Oklahoma in this role." So I'll take just a minute to see if Misty Heath is on Zoom to see if she is able to turn her camera on. There's Misty. And Misty, if you can come off mute as well, I think there's a question about where you live.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes. I live in Tecumseh, Oklahoma. It's probably 45 minutes east of Oklahoma City.
I think it's also important for the membership to know that the election board members who were able did conduct just a question and answer opportunity with each interested individual so that they could understand the time commitment and what our election cycles look like. Our next election is July of 2026, so everybody is aware of the in-person and virtual meeting commitments that are necessary to serve on the election board. Any other questions for Misty? Misty, would you like to say anything? I did read your bio, but if there's anything that you want to say to the membership, please go ahead.
No, just again, thank you for the opportunity to serve. If I'm selected, I appreciate it.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
And then I'll tell you about the next interested individual, and maybe we can start pulling him up on the Zoom. He's with us as well. Mark Quarterbitty, Caddo, Comanche, and Delaware. His home is in Chandler, Oklahoma, where he lives with his wife, Cassandra, who is Seminole and Muskogee, and their 3 children, Elijah, Maverick, and Easton. Family and community are at the center of who he is. He is the son of Stacia Quarterbitty Kelly, the grandson of Terry Quarterbitty, and the great-grandson of Wanda Reeder and Jed Johnson Quarterbitty. Mark has worked in the natural gas industry for nearly 20 years and takes pride in hard work, accountability, and serving others with integrity. He is honored to have the opportunity and looks forward to contributing to a fair, respectful, and transparent process that represents the values of the Caddo community. So we'll give Mark an opportunity to turn his camera on and his microphone in case he wants to say anything, or if anybody has any questions for Mark. Okay.
Hey, I'm sorry. It kicked me off as soon as I went to change my settings.
That's all right. We can hear you now. So if there's anything that you would like to express or say, and then we'll see if anybody has any questions for you.
Nothing to express. I just want to say thank you for the opportunity and kind of getting my name out there. And I just appreciate all the things that everybody up there is doing. I know Caddo Nation's come a long way thanks to Bobby, and just want to show my appreciation. So thanks.
Thank you. I'm not sure how you want to do this part, but we will need to take a vote so that we can decide whether it's which of the two interested parties that will now be on the committee. So either Misty Heath or Mark. Okay. Okay. So anyone who would like to vote for Misty, please raise your hands in person, and please also make your vote known online. I have 16 in person is what I'm counting. Brittany, if you'll double check that. We are voting for Misty right now. If your vote is for Misty, you would raise your hand. If your vote is for Mark, you would save your vote for next. We have 16 in-person votes for Misty. Yes. Correct. 6 online, 16 in person. So 6 online plus 1 abstention online for a total of 7 people. 5 for 1 abstention for a total of 6. And then 16 in-person votes. So that's a majority. So that would be for Misty Heath for the next election board member. For 5 years, that's correct. Mark Quarterbitty? Okay. We do want to go ahead and give an opportunity for votes in person, although that was the majority. We do want to make sure and count votes for Mark. So if your vote is for Mark and you're in person, please raise your hand. And online, please indicate your vote too. And I guess my vote would be abstain on both since I'm on the. Two abstain online, 1 abstain in person. So the motion carries with Misty Heath. She will be the next election board member replacing Beatrice Johnston. And do you want to swear her in now or at a later date when she's in person? I say we take care of it now while we have it on the agenda. Yeah, I can pull up I think this one's in the election ordinance specifically, but I'll pull that up for you. It has to be somebody from tribal council. Yeah.
Okay, we have Misty Heath back online. Okay, Misty, you've been voted in for 5 years to serve on the election board. So congratulations
Thank
and
you. Thank you.
welcome.
Thank you.
Oh, seeing that you're there and we're here, if you can raise your right hand and don't cross your fingers with the left, and we'll be good. All right, all right. So it's Misty Heath, right? Okay, so repeat after me. And so I, Misty Heath,
I, Misty Heath,
do hereby solemnly affirm
do hereby solemnly affirm
that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies,
that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies,
and will carry out faithfully and impartially
and will carry out faithfully and impartially
what's that? Did they misspell that? The duties of my office
the duties of my office
to the best of my ability,
to the best of my ability,
and will promote and protect
and will promote and protect
the best interest of the Caddo Nation
the best interest of the Caddo Nation
in accordance with the tribal constitution and bylaws.
in accordance with the tribal constitution and bylaws.
Congratulations. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
And from the election board, we'd also like to thank Mark and the other individual who expressed interest. It's really important that people are interested in the work of the election board. I myself will be rolling off in 1 year. So during this year, if you have questions or you would like to recommend somebody to express interest in the election board, please have them do so because we'll be ready to do this again this time next year. Thank you. The election is the second Saturday in July. So July 2026, the positions that will be voted for will be vice chairman, secretary, Fort Cobb rep, Anadarko rep, and Binger rep. That's in the minutes from last meeting when the election board. So if you need that in writing, it's there. Thank you. Yes, ma'am. Vice chairman, secretary, Fort Cobb rep, Anadarko rep, and Binger rep, all next July in the election. And there's Beatrice, so I guess we can now clap her out and tell her thank you for all of her work on the election board. Appreciate you, Beatrice. Thank you. Thank you, everybody.
Gail, cousin, Sapahoodle. I would just like to commend our election board. They are the most transparent body of this tribe. They let us know who, what, where, when, and how come that we are doing the things that doing. They are very, very precise, professional, and like I say, we have been kept in the dark. This is, or can I talk? Can I scream louder than I'm? Uh, but anyway, I would just like to say thank you very much for their diligence and for their honesty and for their work ethic. Thank you, Election Board.
So there was a correction on the minutes. I just want to note that for those that are online, that was pointed out by Jim Cousin. Gail S. is changed to Saplehoodle. So we took care of that. Okay, there you go. We got that too. All right. Thank you. I appreciate everyone being here. Hold on for a second. I appreciate everyone being here. Is there online? How many do we still have online? That 15? Okay. We have some questions, and Gil, you can come up here. That way they can hear you online. Or Francis, I can bring you the mic, Francis. Can you turn the camera towards Francis? She might want to sing us a song or something. All right.
Wehoyani, Hiowane, Hiowane, Wehoyani, Wehoyani. Any more requests? Oh, I forgot it was me. Well, primarily, who is this Sean McCabe? I don't know who that is.
Is he on the payroll? How much do we pay him? You can't say?
He doesn't know. We don't have a budget.
You don't know how much he's being paid because why?
Because I don't have that in front of me. That's why. However, Sean McCabe is our CPA, and he's also the CPA for the Navajo Nation, which is about anyway. So Sean McCabe is a CPA for the Caddo Nation. Francis asked who he was. He is a contractor for us as a CPA. We've took care of 2 audits in 5 months, got the tribe caught up, and we're now working on our 2025 audit. So he's the reason why we're doing what we're doing and where we're at right at the moment.
I wish he was here because I have.
He actually is in town, but what happened to him is he got food poisoning day before yesterday, and he's been here all week, and he's in El Reno in his hotel, and he's actually sick at the moment. He was planning on being here. We'll get him here at the next meeting.
Oh, please, because my question is the same one I asked last time, and I didn't get an answer. Are any of the business that we have, are they profit-making?
So she asked if any of the businesses that we have are profit making. Yes, they are. I will let you know that the store here in Binger, it is closed at the moment for 30 to 60 days while we put solar on the building just to keep people safe. That has not been profitable in years before we ever came on board. And so we're reinvigorating the store. We're looking at why it's bleeding out or what the problems are. And we plan on opening that after we look at all the numbers. And so the government function is different than the business function. They don't jive together, right? Because our federal process is different than a business process. And the portals, it doesn't work. And so we've been at that all week. The store in Gracemont, give you an example, in June, it made over $53,000 in sales.
What do we do with that?
Well, it goes back into the store to provide more services. And
No, profit. Oh,
right. So
not gross, net.
what happens is it goes into an account here. However, those profits help the store continue to grow, and it stays within that store. The net stays within the store because the sales were 53,000 in June. I'll give you another example. George's department store, we only purchased that for $141,000, the whole store. Now, that was with the federal grant funds. However, just before August, when the school was starting, it made $89,000 in sales in 1 month. So that's almost more than we gave for the building. And so all the tribes locally are buying from us, as well as Riverside Indian School. We had met with the superintendent, and we met with the principal. And under the Buy Indian Act, they have to buy from us. And so all the kids. No, we own the building and all of it, all of it. Yes. Yes, we do. Yes, we do. Right. Right. Yep. So Gail was asking if we own Redskin Theater, which we do. We're reevaluating that. And we're looking at, right now, it needs a roof because we have to protect, you know, the interest of the.
Person that is in touch with contracting for movies, and is that what we're going to use that building for? Or we're going to
Well, the idea was to open it back up for the public because the kids just don't have anywhere to go.
Right.
And it needs a roof. And then there's the old murals that's in there, trying to save that and reinvigorate the community because there's just nowhere to go for the local families and kids. We're putting a roof on right now, and we put it out for bid. And not only is the roof, but we're doing some 3D imaging of what it would look like as far as like, you know, we're talked about on the council changing it to the Warrior Theater. And we're actually going after some philanthropy money. And we have, if anybody's ever heard of I got his last name, Spielberg? Well, we have met with him, and they're very interested in helping the Caddo Nation invest. And if they do that, what that will be just donations from the Spielberg Foundation to open it back up to reinvigorate the Warrior Theater.
And how far are we along on that? Has the foundation made any kind of commitment?
They made a commitment to visit with us, but they really harped on the fact that we got to put the roof on first. They're doing some 3D imaging, and they're going to be meeting with us very soon.
So it's not going to be a movie house?
Yes, the plan is, and if it doesn't work, we sell it, right? It's just the way it is. And
Bless your heart, nobody's going to buy it.
yeah. Go ahead.
Have you considered, you know, talking about renovating it, and you considered, back when I went to the Redskin Theater, you got individual seats, right?
Right.
So have you thought about renovating the interior, or putting in recliner seats, and modernizing it for the community, and then raising the price accordingly?
Yes, so Jim was asking about if we, you know, thought about, you know, seating in the theater, the whole, to make a long story short, we thought about all of it, the new theater, the seating, the you know, everything internally, and the facade and the new look. Right now, we have an idea that if we really wanted to do it right, it would cost about, unfortunately, $780,000 to $1.2 million. And so we're going after donations and philanthropy folks and pulling them together so we can put a plan together, give it to the council to look at, and then let the tribe know and the membership know that, hey, here's what we can do with that. But
Nobody, I don't think it was presented to the council, to the membership, that was on the agenda for purchases. And how about that building at 2nd and Broadway that used to be a big barber shop? Do we own that?
so,
It's empty, and
Right.
it's been empty for over.
right, so Gail's asking about our real estate. Everything that we've purchased, at one time or another, it was on the agenda related to our real estate and the buildings that we've actually purchased. And we informed the members. So we had bought out the Stevens Trust. And so it was several years ago. With that came 9 buildings. And so all those buildings are paid for with federal money. There's a building in Anadarko on Broadway across from used to be an old barber shop. It's across from the courthouse. That is going to be our incubator for our businesses related to economic development. And so right now, the plans that looking at engineer, as far as like the building, the layout, we have engineers looking at that. We have met with the city manager, and all their fire marshal, to make sure that we do it right. And so all those plans are in the work. Right now, with the government shutdown, we're kind of on hold on that.
With the government shutdown, which of our programs are being impacted the most?
Good God, that's a,
I know we run off of a lot of grant money.
right.
And has any of our grant money been, with the Department of Education? Has any, because
Yeah.
has any of our grant money been impacted by the shutdown or anything that Trump and his administration have done? Because I know he's gutted the Department of Education. He's after the Department of Labor. Which of our programs have been impacted by this?
I would say that
Because I need my grass cut.
well, now, you would be nice to know that we ran a position that we're bringing a young man on to help with lawn cutting, tree cutting, and helping our elders. And if you need firewood, let us
So we
know.
haven't been, so none of our programs have been impacted by the cuts that have been,
Yeah, so yes, to answer your question, Gail, all of them have.
all of
All
them
of them
have.
have. And it's been a fight to keep people knowing that, look, you can't just walk away and shut us down, right?
Well, Trump can.
Yeah, unfortunately, we're not the president of the United States, and we're going to continue to fight to make sure that those trust responsibilities are dealt with and the funding comes with it. And we've been sending letters, but every program, to answer your question, has been, quite frankly, it's been
Well,
hell.
he's shutting down all the federal lands, opening them up in Alaska again and this just happened
Yeah,
this weekend.
Yeah, I'll give an example too. So Gail was you hear what Gail was saying, and I appreciate what we're talking about. Every program that we have, we've been watching the interior and the budget because there's not a continuing resolution. There's a government shutdown. There's going to be $1 to $2 billion cut in Indian country, and it's going to impact every dollar that we get from the interior. Right now, 34% cut at the region.
Well, with our self-determination or self-whatever,
Right.
you said we're not going to go through the interior. We're going to go right.
To DC.
So we're in a tough place, right?
Yeah, so what happens in that place, since if we was a 638 tribe,
Public Law 93, 638.
yeah, 93, 638, those contracts. If we was still in that world, we would be in a world of hurt. And the tribes that are 638 tribes, they're going to have a very, very, very difficult time with funding. We know that there's other tribes locally that are cutting their employees. I'll give you an example. The environmental program that we have, this administration pulled back all the environmental money. They pulled back the preservation money. They pulled back the loan guarantee programs cut, because if we want to do economic development, the banks like to ensure that with the loan guarantee program of the United States government. The big beautiful bill is not the big beautiful bill for Indian country. It is the worstest thing that's ever going to happen to tribes. The other day when the government shut down, they said, the U.S. government and the agents and the people said, draw every federal dollar you can down related to your grant agreements. The very next day, right then we started doing that, but that day and the next day, we were locked out of all of it. And so made some phone calls, and the council is well aware of this. I made some phone calls to DC, and they said, well, we reopened the portals, try it again. And so we were able to draw down all the funds that we could, right, to continue. However, if the government continues this shutdown, we may have to look at other dollars, right?
Testing, testing.
How long, just a little timeline, how long will the dollars that we have, that we were able to draw down, how long, say, like, are we in for a month, 2 months, 6 months, or 2 weeks?
I would say if the government shutdown goes past 50 days, we're gonna have some issues.
And
right?
we're on what, about day 20 now?
Yeah, probably about day 20.
Yeah.
We're hoping that it gets resolved between the Republicans and Democrats.
Well, that won't happen, but something will get resolved. Let's hope that. I
Right.
don't know how that's going to come about. But anyway, because the Republicans and the Democrats are not going to see eye to eye. And it's going to get crazy. But that's what, bless your hearts, that's what we elected you all for. And so we'll keep your, I am just very, very, how would you say, my sister and I, Frances, we are just worried about the resources that we have. We have never been what do you call, over-the-top prosperous tribe, but we have always been, except for a few years, a very, how would you say, a very good tribe. We're the only tribe in this area that can carry on a whole, culturally, can carry on a whole dance without singing not one song that belongs to another tribe. We are the only tribe in the area that can dance all night our own dances without dancing like a war dance or a round dance or anything, or a gourd dance. We don't do that. We have our own dances. We are the only tribe that can do that. And I'm sorry I get to bragging on us too much, but I think we're great. You know, we can do it. We don't need outside help. We don't need outside singers. We don't need to get head people and all that to come, because we can do that ourselves. But I worry about us because we have to live in this era of, federal funding. And like Bobby was saying, philanthropic people like the Rockefellers and the Mellons and the so forth. We have to depend on them. I think the reason my sister and I are so, and my brothers, Jimmy and Buzzy, we're so concerned is we want to be self-sufficient. Not only do we want to be self-sufficient culturally, we want to be self-sufficient financially also. And we just, like I say, we are so proud, Buzzy and Jimmy and Frances and I, of who we are and where we come from, as I'm sure all of you all in this room are. You're proud. I said, maybe if we had one fault, we're all family proud. We all think our family was the best. And so, but we are really. But anyway, I get silly. We are just worried about.
Did she want the microphone?
Now, listen here. I know you're a little bit older than me, but I'm also proud of the Caddo tribe too. Because, like they say, we have our own dancing, our own song. And that, to me, that is what I learned from my grandma. Because she was very, how would you say it? I mean, she was also very, very proud of who we were. I mean, all of us, not just family, but all of us. Each one of us sitting here, we are Caddos. And that is how we were taught about our dancing, our songs, the clothes that we wear. And you know, I still go to the dances. I still wear my dress. And when I go to other tribes, they come up to me and ask me about more information about the Caddo Nation. You know, they ask, is this what you, just this type of things? And I said, yes. And they said they wish they could do that too. And I said, all right. But I'm proud that I am Caddo. And I am proud that my whole family are Caddos.
You know, Bobby, I think we're doing great culturally. It is economically where we fall down.
All right. We heard that we do fine culturally, economically, as we fall down. Just so that everyone knows here, that we're not broke. And we're a multi-million-dollar tribe today. And the reason I say that is 4 years ago, when we were elected, there's what they call a individual Indian money accounts related to the Caddo Nation. For years, we had elders ask about whatever happened to the Elders Fund. It exists. And I've located it, and the council knows that. There's 9 accounts. That one account has over $500,000 in it. And also, because we have oil and gas, grazing, right-of-way, and fractionated interest in that, in one account at the BIA. Now, the only way that the tribe can get those dollars is if we have to pass a resolution, right? And there has to be a budget, and we send it over there. There's over $3 million in one individual Indian money account. No, that's what I'm saying. Right now, you do. And so we've never tapped into that because it's a rainy day fund. We've been spending federal government money instead of spending our own. So right now, we had acquired over $500,000 from the Department of Energy and Minerals Development to do research related to oil and gas. We own 100% land in Lokiba, 100% of the minerals, and we actually have a geologist and an engineer that we use federal money to bring on, because the government provided us the dollars to look at drilling our own resources, taking it to market, and burning it at the other end. It's viable for 2 horizontal drills, and the value of it after we drill that is around $22 million, which means if that happens, the tribe will change the face of the tribe financially. And I'll give you a prime example of that. The agency has 34% cut employment at the agency. With self-governance, we're going to be taking on realty, taking on all those functions. $44 million in minerals related to 90 tracts that are Caddo, 90% tracts that are Caddo, went out to our members. 8.6 million went out We did the council, we passed a resolution, we worked with the agency. We were able to get that done. 8.6 million was supposed to go out to mineral holders that were Caddo people. Well, then the government shuts down. So the government gives us the funds to help, and then the government shuts down. So we're waiting on them to open. And so if you start seeing leases and bonuses, and you need us to maybe certify those, or, what do they call that? When you have someone that, a notary. We have tribal members coming up every day with leases that they have. I will let you know there's one lady, I'm not going to say no names, she still owns 160 acres of her original allotment. I know, right, but I'm giving you an example though. $238,000 was her bonus. That's not counting production. So they're after this new shell. If you go towards Minko and you start driving around, you'll see all this production. That production is right here under our feet. There's no reason why the tribe should be broke. The Osage Nation is willing to partner with us to help them cap their wells in Osage country. They have over $44 million. They want to work with us, and they're helping us figure out what we could do to have our own resources and brought to the market. Yes. Right. Right. Yeah. Right. Right. It's like, yeah, it goes back into the businesses. So I'm gonna, oh, right, right, yeah, yeah, right. It goes back to it goes back to you in services we provide our members. That's what happens to the net profit. Even if you live south of the Washita. So Gail brought up, the fact that what are we going to do if we run out of federal funds? The dollars in our IM account that belong to the nation have stayed there. When I was elected and the new council made a conservative effort, don't touch it, leave it there. Those balances were zero when we got here. And because we didn't touch it and we're not going to, it has amassed a lot of money. So if the federal government don't open, in one account, we still have $3 million and we can operate that and have a budget and bring it to the membership and we're still fine. And we're going to continue to make sure that we're going to spend taxpayer money and the federal money first before we spend our own. That's the plan. And so I'm real thankful about that. And so we're fine in that area. And that's what I know. I'm going to pick on our CHR, our Pathways, our program that helps our elders and our nurses, our RNs. We just received another 1.6 million to help. Is that correct? 1.6 million. And we're looking for more workers to help our elders that they constantly are door to door checking on people, not only in this area, but all over the state. Here, I'll let this one talk. She's part of the program.
So we have a Pathways program, and it's funded through the Oklahoma Healthcare Authority. Our Pathways programs, we try to keep our elders in their home longer, keep them out of nursing facilities, but also in order to qualify for our program, you have to at least have Medicaid or Sooner Care. You don't have to be Caddo. You don't have to be Kiowa. You could be Native American, Mexican, white, whatever. As long as you have Medicaid or Sooner Care, we can help you. The services we provide, we transport to you to your appointments. We pick up medications. We get DME for you. Like if you're at home and you need a hospital bed, we will provide that. And we don't bill your insurance just because this grant is funding that. But yeah, we can do a lot. If y'all know anybody who can come and just fill out an application and be on our program, we can help. As long as you qualify for Medicaid and Senior Care, there's no age limit. But yeah, we got 1.6 million, and that funds our workers. We have an RN. I'm the CNA CMA. We're hiring 2 more caregivers. We will be in the future have a OT and PT. So we may, need a bigger facility. Just putting that out there. But yeah, so if y'all know anybody who wants, we also have people like Gail who probably don't qualify for Medicaid, but our nurse, she is tribal nursing. So one thing we do is we will go to and help at least our tribal elders. Even though they don't qualify for our program, we will do what we can to help them.
Great.
Yeah, we are not CHR, though. We are Pathways. We are a different program, but we all do work together because we do work with AOA as well. We work, with CHRs. We supplement AOA. So say AOA doesn't have something to provide for our elders. They'll come to us, and we can help them.
All right. I think we should give them all applause. That's pretty awesome.
Job, because I take advantage of their services, and they always tell me before they leave, if you need anything, give us a call.
So just so you know, I do hear all the positive stuff about our nurses and our RNs and everything, and they did mention, that they come and check, with Gail or, well, they with Francis. That's just what I told them. Look, if y'all drop Francis or Gail, and hurt them, they're going to kill me. So anyway, I really appreciate everyone being here.
Okay. Hello. Okay.
I like the history of the name. It makes me think of when I was a child going there with my grandmother. Yeah, I'm sorry, different opinion, but I also have that right to a different opinion. And to me, it's the history of the name. And we don't just serve Caddos in that store. We serve Kiowas, and we serve Wichita, and we serve Comanches, and we serve lots of different tribes. And I just think it's the history of the area and the town, and it's just history. It's like, I don't know. Now, see, I don't mind the Redskins changing that because that's a derogatory term. But McKee's has a history. It was the original trading post in the area, wasn't it? I think it's.
So just so that everyone knows, we haven't slapped the Caddo Nation on McKee's, and we're going to do that. What we're going to do is for McKee's Indian Store, we're going to put owned by the Caddo Nation on that store, so that way everybody would know. Yes. Yes. Right. Programs. Yeah. Right. Yes. Yeah. Right. So Gail was talking about all the stores. As far as the profit, it goes back into the stores after we pay all the bills, and what's left, like any other business, right? That's profit for the tribe and keep the tribe going. Could we let these guys say something? Because I'm always talking and I talk too much. Please say something. All right. Thank you.
Hey, thank you. I really love having. Oh, my name's Kay O'Neill. I am from the Cross family, and I am the Fort Cobb representative. And that's my grandson back there waving at me. I feel like I'm on parade. I'm very honored to serve the Caddo Nation, and I'm grateful to have these ladies here in my district. Last meeting we had our Anadarko, Binger, and Fort Cobb meeting together in Anadarko. But I believe next time that we will have it in Fort Cobb, and I'm gonna find a way to reach out to you ladies because we've been missing you at the meetings. And I'll get your phone number perhaps, and just call you directly when we have our meeting. And, just to reiterate, even though the government is shut down, the Caddo Nation has not shut down, and we will not shut down. We will do the best we can to keep us thriving, moving forward, and taking care of our people. We have a beautiful culture, and I'm very proud to be a part of that. And I'm going to pass this on to Verna.
Good morning. And like Gail and Shirley said, we were all raised up with the Caddo people. And I was, and they know my parents. I think some of y'all might know my parents, Reuben and Rhoda Whitebead. And I've enjoyed all the dances, and I know we were out there late at night, early in the morning, dancing, so, and it was a lot of fun. And I remember them mother, Retha, her and I always danced together. And, but since the shutdown, and we have been working, trying to keep the tribe moving forward. And hopefully we can keep it open. So we just have to wait and see what happens. So we're just kind of going from day to day. Because you get overnight, something can happen. So, but I'm glad to be here, and I'm glad to see everyone here. Thank you.
My name is Tracy Martin, and I am Anadarko representative. As the tribe moves on, we're doing a lot of good things. As you know, my mom sat on council also. My grandfather, Maurice Badoka, was our first constitutional chairperson. And so, I try my best to carry on Sometimes I feel I'm not as smart as they were, but we keep continuing to strive and go forward and make the best of everything that we have to work with. I'm very proud to sit on the council. And as we move forward, we just say, let's go. But I also sit on the CASA board for the Consortium Against Substance Abuse. I just want to put it out there that if you have any tribal members or anybody in your family that needs some kind of substance abuse help, or even if you don't have a substance abuse, if you're in a family of somebody that is abusing drugs or any kind of substance, you can always reach out to me or any of our council. They can always come back to me we can get help. We have a lot of resources for that. And I'm glad to see everybody here. We had a really good meeting, a lot of good questions, a lot of the Constitution and the election board. It was very nice. I'm proud to say that you guys are really doing some good work. All right, thanks, guys.
Hi, everyone. My name is Brittany Habbard. I am the Oklahoma City representative. This is my first membership meeting since being sworn in July. Just to give you an update, I did have my first district meeting on September 27th. I thank you all for the people that were able to attend or tried to attend, because just my luck, there was a parade right around that location. And so there was a struggle to find parking. And usually there is parking at the library. So I apologize for not knowing about the parade that day. So for that meeting, we did have Church's Chicken. There was still a good amount of attendance, and it ended up being about 2 hours. I am very thankful for the questions and suggestions, as well as the people that responded on the questionnaire. I will be sending out an email tomorrow with a lot of the answers from the questions in that meeting, as well as the people that did win the 3 people that won my raffle for attending. So you know for future that I will be giving out some raffle winnings for folks that are able to attend. I know it's a little bit hard to come out to my meetings, and that's a personal thing that I'm doing. The next meeting will be tentatively November 23rd, which is a Sunday. It will be in the afternoon. There will be sandwiches, as well as I'm working with Chad Earls to do a craft activity. So the first part will be our district meeting, and then there will be a craft afterwards. If you were not able to attend my previous meeting, but still want to get onto the newsletter, which is the email that I'll start continuously sending, please stop by and give me your email before you leave, or send it to my email at bhabbert@mycaddonation.com, or my work phone, which I do not remember my number off the top of my head. But yes, I'm just going to keep trying to build up our community, building up the amount of people that are attending. And I hopefully will have a table, or at least I'll be at the Metro Caddo Culture Club FAM event in November for folks to also sign up there. So thank you so much.
There was a question online by one of our members about what they could do related to the government shutdown and who they could call. Please write your local senator or congressman or call them to write. Well, they wanted to know. Well, I tracked him down at the airport, so he didn't have a choice. Surprised his bodyguard didn't throw me down. Anyway, write your local senator or congressman. Let them know the impacts in Indian country. Go to their office, go to their satellite offices, do what you can to continue to advocate along with us for Indian country and our tribe. Go ahead.
Letters are great. Letters are great, especially since they can see the physical media, but when you just bombard their offices with phone calls, they kind of can't ignore it. Their workers get upset about it. They say, all right, well, let's actually do something about this. You really kind of, when it comes to local politicians, I don't have a whole lot of experience in Oklahoma, but I live in New York. I do a lot of philanthropic things there, and you really have to hammer at state and local representatives before they'll actually do anything. So definitely, phone calls are also a great way to get in touch with them.
Yeah, with that, just mentioning, call your personal congressperson, because I interned in Congress, and I know that if you don't live in the district, your comment actually doesn't get listed, and they actually just kind of ignore it. So definitely call your person just repeatedly.
Yes. So, yes, yes, they do. They do. And the reason for that is because if you don't have to spend, and people are furloughed and don't have paychecks, right, it eventually have an impact on all the stores, regardless of who owns them. So, no, not layoffs due to the shutdown. We are reorganizing, and there are some possibilities that we may have some furloughs. They can always reapply, but it's just a funding thing at the moment.
Can you tell me what businesses we own? I don't know. I know McGee's and I know George's. Now then the Warrior Theater, but I don't
Yeah,
know.
and Gracemont store. They're in Gracemont. We own this store here and the one in Gracemont. So we own the only store in Gracemont, so everybody has to come there, right? And this is part of it. We own the only Native American store in the southwest part of Oklahoma, so they have to come to us. We own the only store in Gracemont, so you have to buy it there if you're coming through there, if you live there. And we own the only clothing store outside of Walmart and the oldest store in Anadarko. So some of the tribes are saying we have a monopoly going on. So I'd kind of like, yeah, we're Caddo, it's kind of our way. But anyway, with that said, I really appreciate your comments, about getting in front of these politicians. So just so that let you know, a lot of them in DC, they're like, oh God, here comes Bobby. And, he's aggressive. And no, I'm fighting for everything that we can go get, or reminding the government of their trust responsibilities. Because, they don't want me to bring Gail up there, because I'm telling you what, I'm saving them some grace here. Nikki, could you let us know about what you was talking about? Could you hand that, Brittany, can you hand that to Nikki, please? Before we forget. She had something to add before we take off.
Our Pathways program, we don't serve within a jurisdiction. As long as you live in the state of Oklahoma, we can help you. And as long as you have Medicaid or Sooner Care, we can help. If you don't have Medicaid or Sooner Care, want to try to sign up, we also can help and assist with that as well.
And we also met with the Chickasaw Nation and Bill Anatubby in Ada, Oklahoma. And their elected leaders, the whole council, went and visited with Bill, the governor, and we spent all day about what we need to do as a tribe. And one of the things that they mentioned is continuity is so important. And the other thing that they helped us with is that they have a bank called Chickasaw Community Bank. And we're going to be meeting with them as a council about all their funding opportunities that they provide Indian country. They provided over $20 billion in housing loans and programs to pueblos and tribes throughout the nation. They made a conservative effort to say we want to work with the Caddo Nation, and their leadership and their bank's going to meet with our leadership, and they're going to show us all the bells and whistles that can help us. And they're really interested in helping us go after the 184 loan guarantee program through housing, to help us build homes and home ownership, not just in one county, not just in 5, but throughout the state of Oklahoma, and duplexes and triplexes. And they know our audits are cleaned. As a matter of fact, they were going to fund around $10.5 million to help us get going. And now that the government's shut down, they're like, hey, can you guys come up here anyway? So it's great to see that other tribes are trying to pull us along. Yes. Yeah, not anytime soon. We're going to listen to them.
So, but no private health insurance. Okay.
Yes, can I borrow that?
Okay. Do you want to say that out loud?
Well, I just wanted to say, I just want, I just wanted to say that things are being built up. We need to go with the positive for our tribe. And there's grants and things that can be done as grievance sent out to different places before the shutdown of the government. That way we have monies coming in ahead of time. And one other thing, I've seen other tribes and I've talked to their leaders and things, and they've put their money into other people's hands for the accountant, not within the tribe, outside of the tribe. So that way, they audit and they see where all the monies is going. So we don't have a problem with people saying, elders, where's the money and what's this? I'm just proud to be Caddo. I'm proud that we're moving forward, and Bobby's doing a great job. And we need to support and be positive about this as we move forward with Bobby, and I appreciate him. And that's it.
Thank you. Amy, go ahead.
Just one thing, just to remind everybody, I know we mentioned the Caddo Festival at the First Americans Museum next month on Sunday, November 16th, starting at 11. Dee Bigfoot and her son, Honest, are giving a great presentation on the Fort Marion prisoner of wars, and they're gonna talk to everybody, and then that starts at 11, and then after lunch, we're gonna start the dances at 1, and so everybody's welcome to come out. It's free to attend the festival, and I know if I didn't mention it, Jerry Redcorn would be mad at me. And there's also flyers over there by the front door too. So just good to remember.
And just so that you know, the tribal council is also supporting that even financially, because it's the right thing to do. And we even helped you with a grant, right? And related to that dance and what's going to happen, I know everyone's excited, to be there. So we really appreciate everything that you guys are doing over there. So before we go and before we adjourn, I really want to thank everybody for being here. This is a photograph that's in a book called Caddo. I've never seen this before in my life. And it was just handed to me. And here's a picture of me with black hair. This is what happens to you when you become the chairman. You end up like this. And so I wouldn't, recommend it. It's supply and demand, but I was like, oh my God, that was a couple of days ago. But I like that. That's pretty. I'll give it back to you. Is there, before we go, I want to recognize all our elders, past and present, and I want to say a short prayer. If you guys want to make a motion to adjourn, before we adjourn, I'd like to do that, if that's okay. Okay, all right. Now just bear with me for a moment. What time is it? Anybody got the time? Discoteca. 12:14. So the sun, it's up here. Well, here so it means the sun's coming around. Discoteca means it's right above us somewhere. It's a little bit different, our language. You kind of have to know a little bit about it. So I'm going to stand over here, say a prayer in these words that were said to us and what it means to us. These directions where the sun comes up is over here is a spring. Over here towards the fall time over here towards the south And over here, where the sun goes down, you know, these directions, winter, spring, right? And fall over here behind me, and then summer. When we get this green cedar, we pray. And I know our Native American church and our relatives are going to be praying tonight, and tomorrow all the churches and people will be praying along with all of us, and we'll be praying along with them. And because we can't do it alone, we have to have Christ. There's nothing that we can do without Him, including myself. And I'm just really thankful that God has allowed me to be here with you and passing through this life. So I'm going to talk in those directions in our language and say a prayer. Then if someone can make a motion to adjourn when we're done, and then we'll go on our way. Hoe ahayo. Kona kai, kona deska, kona desto, kona ha koro, kona ha tiro ahayo. Diti dawina hano hasine ko tsiate ko teba ahayo. Tsiha hano ahayo. I want you to look at us, Almighty God. Konak ai, the great doctor that you are. Gitsi, Almighty God. Sometimes we get off on things, Almighty God. We're not right sometimes with our life. Tsiha, we want you to look at us, Almighty God. We want you to be with us through your Son, Jesus Christ, that we can come together, that we can say good things on your behalf. Good, bad, or indifferent, ugly or fabulous, however you see our people, wherever you see them today, from the oldest to the youngest, those that are incarcerated, those that are in mourning, those that are in trouble, those that are in need of a prayer, those that are having a rough time, those that are lost and don't know you. I ask that you pity them this morning, right along with me, right along with our elders and our young people and those that are in this room. You bless them and be with them and take care of them as we move throughout our day, as we move throughout our life, Almighty God. You look down upon us like that, and you know, I heard our people say, "You're the greatest thing." And you're the one. You can make things happen when we can't make those things happen. We put you first so that you can take care of us. We put you first that when we fall down and make a mistake or we do something in our lives, that you could take care of us so that we can get along in this life and understand your will and move along until you call us home and to where our people are. When that time comes, you be with us and take care of us. Just take care of our Hasine, Hene, Garodacho, Sakua, Hiaso, the way the sun came around, Nadako, our people over there, and Anadarko, Kokiba, our people in Lokiba, Nasunda, place of the soldier in Fort Cobb, Almighty God. Jaime, Wiesen, over there, the big cities, all our people, wherever you may find them, however you may find them, from the oldest to the youngest, you must bless them and watch over them. Take care of our day, again, in this water of life, Almighty God. I can't do nothing without it. If I left anything out, I ask you to take care of it. And bless our elders here today, Almighty God. We wouldn't know what to do without them. Bless their day, their life, their home, and make it to where they can get around easy in this fall time coming, Almighty God, and winter that's right there next to it. We ask that you be with them in their homes and their families and their loved ones, their grandchildren, the things that they go through, Almighty God. And again, we give you all the glory and all the praise, and bless our churches and bless our day through your Son, Jesus Christ. If I left anything out, I ask you to take care of it. Konadiska, konadiska, konadiska. Amen. All right. Someone want to make the motion to adjourn? Motion's been made by Jim Cousins, seconded by Gail Codesy to adjourn. All in favor say aye. All right. Y'all get the count. Raise your hand. Make sure we got it. I can't vote. So. And those that are online, thank you for being online. God bless you today.